Good to have you with us. Wednesday edition of Studio 12 from the south end zone of Kyle Field. Matt and Will with you as usual. And I tell you what, we're coming off a pretty good football game Saturday. Got another one coming up. 2 night games in a row. I think you said last week about 20 years since we got 2 conference night games in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works, isn't it? Just luck of the draw, so to speak. But that's pretty fun, wasn't it, Connor?
It was a really fun game. Really fun game.
I'll say. Aggies beat South Carolina last Saturday. Alabama coming in this Saturday. And why don't we begin on the front porch? Get your rocking chairs out. We'll just shoot the bull here, right here on the front. After
Will is so proud of that
ranch.
Nickname of that show.
Hey, he's got reason to be proud of it. I like it a lot.
We sent Connor the high-end graphic that I drew on the whiteboard in Matt's office. He liked that, too.
That needs to be done professionally, without a doubt.
What do you mean it wasn't done professionally? A marker on a whiteboard?
I'm just saying, kind of ramp up the
That's as graphic artist as I get right there.
Can we put it behind here? We'll get rid of the A&M logo and put the front porch right there.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Now y'all are getting it.
All right. Your guest, your honor, Connor.
All righty. Well, today I brought a guy who played great last week. He's a very consistent player, always a hard work guy, and we have a lot of fun cracking each other's heads in practice. Good buddy of mine, Kingsley Keke. Happy to have you here, man.
What's up, man? I'm happy to be here.
It's a pretty good intro of you, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's
I was very pleasantly surprised when he said he's actually watched your show before. You got a following going.
A little bit.
You've watched this, Kingsley?
I'm a big fan. I love my boy Connor.
You got time on your hands.
See, I like we got the O-line, the D-line in here because I want you guys to talk about the rivalry, the friendly rivalry in practice there between the offensive and the defense. Kingsley, we'll start with you. How much fun is that to that friendly kind of jaw and rivalry you guys got going?
We know it's all love at the end of the day. We go out and crack heads. It's hot some days, and we're just having fun out there, honestly. Some days it may be, a little grouchy, but hey, it's all love.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of fun. Since me and Keke have come in to A&M as freshmen, we've been good friends. And, there have been days during fall camp and everything, your nerves start wearing a little thin and, you might get in a little jawing match or a little shoving match or something. But as soon as you go back in the locker room, at the end of the day, that's your brother, and you can laugh about it at the end of practice, and that's something really special, especially about this team. A lot of universities don't have that, A couple of guys will kind of get in a, John match or something during practice, and those feelings carry on into the locker room afterward,
Exactly.
and that's toxic. You can't have that, and we absolutely have none of that here. So,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well
that's
said.
a good thing. I tell you what, Will, too, if you ever need to know where these guys are on a practice field, just listen for their coaches. You can figure
You
it out
guys
pretty
got some
quick.
vocal ones.
Oh, yeah.
Turner against Turner.
My goodness.
That's stating it quite nicely right there, Kingsley. So we're on the front porch to start Studio 12, and as always, Studio 12 is powered by Kawasaki. Visit your local Kawasaki dealer and ask about the new Mule Pro FXR, a true boss vehicle. A&M and Bama, Saturday night, 6:15 here at Kyle, and we mentioned briefly how fun the last home game was. South Carolina, a 24-17 victory. Got to get both your comments about the electricity in this building during that fourth quarter when you guys simply overtake the opponent, will your way to victory. How instrumental was the 12th man and all that?
I mean, the 12th man is a force to be reckoned with, man. I think we've seen it in the past. If you make a comment that could be any way derogatory to the 12th man or the town of College Station, those guys are going to let you know that you messed up, okay? They're coming for you. And the 12th man is always huge every game we play, playing in front of just such a great home crowd and the best student section in the country. I mean, it's something we don't take for granted, and we love every week. And I think the defense especially loves having that group of people behind them.
Exactly. It's blessed. It's a blessing to be here. With all the fans out there just showing you love. And it's great. It's great.
I think one of the guys on the defensive line with you, Landis, mentioned that at one point he kind of got startled because he felt like his helmet was vibrating. And he said he kind of ducked a little bit. He's like, what happened? He's like, oh, that's just the noise.
Man.
It's ringing his helmet. It's on the inside. But that's a surreal feeling in
That's how it
itself.
is.
But
That's how it is.
And while that crowd's getting going, Kingsley, the defense essentially unleashes on South Carolina. You guys had 7 sacks for the game, but we went back and looked at the play-by-play on paper, and once they scored the touchdown to get them to 17, the next 12 snaps of the ball for them, they lost yardage on 7 of them. What enabled you guys to just dial it up and simply smother them the rest of the game?
We were just trying to, get another stop, because, we're trying to win that game. Going in, letting them score on to 17, we didn't like that. We put it to our heads that they're not going to score another point, and that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. And offensively, was it rushing the football that really – because then you guys scored 17 unanswered to win the game. Rushing the football is where that started.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our quarterback made some big plays with his legs, and we've talked about his maturing every game in the past. Every week it seems like he gets more comfortable within the system. Every week he gets more comfortable with having the keys to the Ferrari, as I like to put it, we when it mattered, we came away with the yards we needed. And, I think that's a testament to our backs' work ethic, number one, just not willing to go down, keep your legs turning. Y'all saw Keith Ford out there. The whole field was around that guy. And, the O-line kept pushing behind him too. So, but I think that's really a testament to the offense's work ethic and, the notion that we would just not be denied.
Mm-hmm. Kingsley, just real quick, too, on the crowd, because I think it affects you guys probably even more than it does the offense because they get so loud. And Coach said after the game, he goes, the 12th man absolutely had a huge impact on the outcome of that game. For you guys as a defense, when you make a huge hit or get a big sack and you hear that crowd elevation, can you kind of put into words what that does to your emotion and your energy on the field?
It just gives you an extra boost to keep going, to make even more plays and just to make everyone happy and get everyone going. It just gives you an extra boost, honestly.
That was one of the more impressive fourth quarters that I've watched in a while. It was almost like a light switch, Will. It was just like it got flicked, and it was game over.
Mm-hmm.
Game over.
Oh, it was. A&M was down for a little bit in the fourth quarter, but the way things were going is like, it's just a matter of time because you guys were rolling so well. Crowd was in it so much. Looking forward to this week, and I've asked a few players this already. When you guys went to play Arkansas, I think people made a big deal out of it because you were starting SEC play, but it felt like the comments inside the Bright Complex were about, don't make too much of this. Let's prepare how we've always prepared. Now you've got the defending SEC champion rolling in here, but it's still the same, is it not? I mean, let's not make too much. Let's do what we do. That's how we have success regardless of opponent.
I mean, you're exactly right. It's been said around this building before. If you stay ready, then you don't have to get ready. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's another opponent, another week of football. We're not doing anything different than we normally do. Just going out and playing our brand of football.
Our brand of football. Play the man, not the logo. Just play football.
Mm-hmm. And I also hear with the defensive line, stopping the Alabama run game, it's about what you guys call gap integrity. Don't lose that, and you're going to have a chance to be successful.
Exactly. We can, stop the run against them. That gives us the best chance, of beating Alabama.
Mm-hmm. And then, when we talk about stopping the run, talked about how the run game started success for the offense against South Carolina. Yeah, they've got a good defensive line, but that doesn't mean you guys are going to stop trying to run the football on them on Saturday.
No, you always want to run the football, man. I mean, if you can't, run the football, you're not going to win a whole lot of games. Mm-hmm. The thing about Alabama's defensive front that really stands out to us is how well coached their entire defense is. I mean, every defensive lineman, they read their cues so well. I mean, they get off, they separate, and they hold that gap. Their backers are physical. They can run well. They're an extremely well-coached defense. And, there are some that are so gap sound that you can actually exploit that. So we might be able to do that this week with the rushing game.
Mm-hmm. Connor Lanfear, Kingsley, Keke with us on the Front Porch Wednesday edition of Studio 12. And, we often change the conversation, veer it towards the outdoors every time Connor comes on. And we'll get to a nice little Sunday you had after a victory. But let's go indoors for a second. And I want to talk to Kingsley about basketball.
Yeah.
That was your first love.
Basketball was.
At a young age, did you think your future was going to be on the court and not the football field?
Not the football field. going in my high school year, I was a freshman, and I'm like, man, I love basketball, and I'm playing, and I was the only freshman on the varsity team, and I won MVP for my freshman year, my sophomore year, and my junior year, but I didn't play my senior because I had got surgery on my torn labrum, but I was gonna get MVP that year too. So I mean, basketball was my first love. I got buckets. That's why my Twitter handle is buckets all day. So
yeah. I noticed that.
That's how much I really love basketball. But hey, my coach told me, my high school football coach told me that football is going to be your deal, and I was like, maybe you might be right. And then, luckily, I'm here right now, just playing football.
Now, rank yourself in basketball skills on this football team. Are you at the top, or you got some other guys that kind of challenge you a little bit?
I'll put myself at top 3.
Top 3. Now rank Connor.
I don't even think I'm on the ranking. I might be behind some of the coaches. Okay, I am god awful at basketball.
Your hoops career ended your freshman year, right, of high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was running off too much weight during the off season. I was trying to get big. I was like 250, trying to at least get to like 270, and I was running off all that weight, so I had to quit playing.
Kingsley,
bulk.
I'll put you on the spot here a little bit, Kingsley. If you got yourself a starting 5 for a basketball team made up of the football team of our guys, who would be on your squad? Give me kind of you, and then who you bringing with you on the field?
Okay.
Now you're in the post.
Okay.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I could do a little bit of everything.
You may be a power forward.
Surprise a little bit. Okay. I got me. I got Donovan Wilson, Armani Watts. He can shoot really good, and I got Dalen. Dalen.
Okay.
I was surprised.
Connor's got kind of a shocked look on his face.
I am absolutely baffled. Dalen?
Monty, Donovan, Dalen, Keke.
Basketball.
No kidding.
I was shocked. But he doesn't really play defense like that. He doesn't like getting back on the floor.
I was going to say, you're playing defense with like 4 guys most of the time, right?
Yeah, but he could score. I was shocked. And then Jared Johnson. We always play pickup basketball together. So
I feel like that's pretty stout.
Pretty stout team.
We're still a little baffled by Dalen, but
Who's
you
bringing
might have
the
to
ball
answer
up the
to
court?
Eric or Keaton or someone like that, man. Eric might be a little.
Eric might get mad at me. I'm gonna put Eric there. My bad.
Eric, okay.
So you got 6 now. You got
I got to take. I'm gonna take down Dalen.
Dalen's off.
There.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to challenge Matt Simon to draw a charge from Dalen Mack. Heck, or you? Would you stand in front of these guys if it meant a turnover and possession of the basketball for your team, Matt?
Is there an EMT on site?
We'll get you a stretcher.
Okay.
We'll get you a stretcher close by.
As long as I get the call, because if I get called for a block, then I'll get thrown out the game.
Yeah.
Well, from the stretcher, because I'll already be on the floor anyways.
Yeah.
So that's valid there.
Yeah.
But I guess that Dalen would not be the one bringing the ball up the floor, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Not at all.
He just camps out and waits for the long pass.
Pretty much.
Now, who's the best dunker of that group?
Ooh, Donovan Wilson. He got some bunnies.
No.
He's really athletic.
Yeah, he's a player.
You got to be able to dunk the ball, right?
Well, I used to before I blew out my knee.
Your ups aren't quite there anymore.
Yeah, let me tell you, the first time I went to the rec to play basketball with Eric and Keke, this is my freshman year here, and, I hadn't played in years. And I used to be able to dunk pretty well in high school. And so I came in thinking, oh, yeah, I'll still be able to, dunk the ball, no problem. Well, what I didn't realize is that I had gained about 30 pounds in a very short span of time after having gotten here. They put the weight on you quick. So I go up to dunk just like I was back in high school weighing like 260, 270, and I just got stuffed by the rim. And I came down and the whole gym was looking at me like, this guy's like 6'5", and he just got stuffed. And I walked out of the gym. I did not shoot another ball after that. I was so ashamed.
There you go.
So ashamed.
See, he walked out of the gym. He jumped into a pontoon boat and went fishing. That's where you went.
Exactly.
And you were out on the lake Sunday. You had some success there.
I did. Yeah, it was good to get out a little bit and just be on the water for an evening of fishing. Caught a couple bass on a topwater frog, so that's always fun for anyone who is a bass fisherman.
Mm-hmm. Kingsley, you need to try his menu.
I gotta
one time.
join him. in doing that.
Even if it's not fishing, just he can cook them up too. Yeah.
I can cook all right.
He's this is radio, so he's looking at you like, how come I am just now figuring out about this?
Yeah.
It's like, I thought we were tight. Where's my food? Is it kind of the look I'm seeing on his face?
I don't know if you
soon, very soon.
I don't know if he catches enough to cook for a 105-man roster.
Yeah.
That's pretty
exactly.
tough. Yeah.
Here in a couple days, if I get a deer or something, I'll cook a big meal.
There you go. Season's coming up. Yeah.
I started this past weekend. Archery season did.
That's true. The bow is early.
I was actually gonna go on Sunday, but yoga went a little later than normal, so I didn't get
got to get that in.
Mm-hmm.
All about recovery when you go through that SEC schedule.
Exactly.
Well, guys, last Saturday was a thrill. Enjoyed it against South Carolina. Look forward to seeing you play this Saturday against Alabama. Thank you both so much for the time here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.